we treat everybody the exactly
No,
the same.
you don't. Don't give me that. You can lie all you want. You can gaslight all you want. It doesn't work with me. But you are. But you are. You don't treat everyone equally here. Get the fuck.
Right, you're under arrest.
Right, you getting this on camera? Get arrested me for what?
Section 5
Under what power?
You have been told not to swear. And the second time you've sworn.
Okay. Offence committed. Public order offence.
Not a word.
That was me being arrested in 2020 for telling Sergeant French, whose father just so happens to have made his fortune in animal agriculture, to get the fuck off me when he assaulted me for no apparent reason. So, according to Norfolk Constabulary, who went on to prosecute me, swearing in public is a criminal offence.
You're under arrest for obstruction.
Obstruction?
Yeah, obstruction, police. So we want to seize that phone.
Put your hands in the handcuffs now. Stop. Don't it up.
Well,
Get off him! Don't attack people!
Calm down. Please, Eleanor, step back or you'll get arrested as well.
Get off me!
Step back or you'll get arrested. Step back. Step back or you'll get arrested as well.
Your
Boy, step back and get.
This was back in January when devious bastards from Norfolk Constabulary ambushed us at the livestock market protest. They apprehended me in the middle of a road in pitch black, and I was arrested for sending mean messages to somebody who'd screwed me out of thousands of pounds. And Jamie was subsequently arrested because he put my phone in his pocket. You have unlawfully detained me.
Cheers.
You have literally just unlawfully arrested me. You getting this? All of it. They're hurting my arm. He's pulling it.
Your arm's hurting because you're not standing up.
I don't have to stand. I've got no obligation to whatsoever.
If you're under arrest, you do.
No, I don't. I'm not resisting
station.
arrest.
I sort of suggest you're doing a fine line, don't I?
And would you believe it? Me again, being arrested back in February for breaching bail conditions that I proved to the police I was no longer subject to. Oh, well, what are you arresting her for?
For assault. Why are you standing
Assault?
Assault, because I want
Because this is where it happened.
the top officer who was in charge here.
Who have you allegedly assaulted?
Huh?
Who have you allegedly assaulted?
The smiley face there.
What?
I touched her cheek and she says I pinched her.
And here we have a peaceful 70-year-old activist who has never been in trouble with the law being arrested for assault. She was on her own, surrounded by farmers and police, when one of the farmers, sour-faced Sandy, came and squared up to her. Being a peaceful protester, she simply smiled and touched her cheek in a grandmotherly gesture. She was then arrested and kept in a police cell for upwards of 10 hours.
Farmers, I'm not going to read up.
Farmers? What are their names?
Gemma.
What are their names? If someone's made an allegation against me, I want to know
Gemma,
who
there are
made it.
several people inside that livestock market who have made allegations against you. Just listen, I'm trying to explain to you, right? You're saying you have adequate explanations. I'm trying to do it for you, alright? Of causing intentional harassment, alarm and distress. Filming inside people's cabs through the side windows, which you've been warned not to do several times. Asking questions around what's it like being inside a prison cell, etc, etc. Alright? They are the allegations.
Yeah, I'm being arrested because I said, what's it like inside a police cell? You are ridiculous.
Gemma.
Can you hear yourself?
I can't hear myself.
Like, just
They
stop.
are the allegations,
and
alright? Let me
listen
explain to you.
Okay, so I said to someone, what is it like inside a prison cell?
You've also been repeatedly banging on people's windows.
I'm not
Explain to you
when he drove into
It's all on the
me.
board.
He was driving into
It's all on
people.
the
You
board.
weren't stopping him. I knocked on his window to say, stop your car. Thanks to Norfolk Constabulary and their weird, spiteful, obsessive vendetta against me, I'm well acquainted with the inside of a police cell. So it wasn't me who asked the question, but even if I had said to a farmer, what's it like inside of a police cell, that's not grounds for arrest, nor is filming in a public place or knocking on the window of someone who's trying to run somebody else over.
You need 4 people. This is unlawful. 4. You need 4 officers on her. You shouldn't have members of the public instructing you how to deal with your bloody job.
Mind her wrist, don't pull down on her wrist, you're going to break her wrist.
It's not just OAPs that officers from Norfolk Constabulary like to abuse. Here you can see them harassing, bullying and throwing their weight around with a child. This 17-year-old girl didn't get out of the road the very second that an officer asked her to, thus denting his poor, fragile ego, which, in their eyes, is an egregious offence. These are just some of many examples of the bullshit that officers who police Norwich Livestock Market have arrested, prosecuted and convicted activists for. Telling your assailant to get the fuck off you when he assaults you. Sending a mean message to someone who's screwed you out of thousands of pounds and left you in crippling debt. Putting a phone in your pocket. Not having bail conditions. Touching someone's cheek when they step to you. asking what's it like inside of a police cell, and of course, not moving quickly enough when a police officer tells you to. But what if you're a farmer at Norwich Livestock Market and you punch an activist in the face, plough through a group of activists in your car and continue driving with one of them on the bonnet, and then, in front of your young son who's in the passenger seat of your car, tell that activist to go and fuck your mother's cunt?
Stop it! Be careful! Be careful! Get the fuck out! Bloody idiot! Get out!
Fuck yourself, you
Oh, that's great.
fucking mother's cunt.
That's it. Public order as well.
Including on the footage, your statement and other statements, and the evidence isn't met for this one, so we won't be pursuing it.
Okay, so what about the like his language and stuff?
Yeah, so obviously there's obviously language from both ends. We've obviously reviewed the evidence in the video, and we're not going to be doing anything on either party or either side.
Well, I never swore.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing anything. We're not going to be actioning anything there.
Why is it though? Like, how can he get away with dangerously driving like that?
So, in terms of what we got here, so I'll go through it with you. So, I'm just going to go read through what my sergeants put here. Obviously, the threshold just isn't met. In terms of dangerous driving, it's just not met. There are certain things that we have to consider when we look to charge for someone for that. And obviously, after reviewing the CCTV, it just isn't enough there. We have there was actually a recent case, which is RV Lion Maris on October 22nd, where there was a similar thing happen in London.
Okay.
Where someone drove someone with a bonnet, went to court, and there was no further action against that due to the circumstances. So we've obviously had a look at case law as well in regards to the decision we've made, and we won't be pursuing any further.
Not to fucking charge him. Oh, you bent bastards, a lot of you.
If you're not happy with the decision, obviously you can have a victim's right to review if you'd like to do something like that. But otherwise, there won't be any further action.
What's your name and badge number?
It's PC2142 Breckens.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries. I'll send you a letter with
Thanks
the
so
details.
much.
Okay, brilliant.
That's right, they did precisely fuck all, because according to Norfolk Police, a wealth of statements and video footage from activists, as well as their own body-worn cameras, just wasn't enough evidence. PC Brackens went on to insinuate that the victim had also committed offences, which is completely untrue, not least because if it was true, they would be prosecuting him. Instead of doing the right thing and pursuing action against this violent and vulgar farmer, officers trawled through case law to find grounds to NFA the offences, protecting the farming community, with whom senior police, including Chief Constable Paul Sanford and Tory Police Crime and Commissioner Giles Orpensmelly, enjoy informal meets and a close relationship. Once again, Norfolk Police have proven they are not here to serve the public, uphold our rights and respect equality, rather to oppress and discriminate against the only minority group not protected by the outraged mob. This protection of business at the expense of our rights is organised corruption. I strongly suspect the police are in the pockets of farmers, or at least have some little boys' clubs in common. Whatever the reason for their criminal behaviour, one thing is clear.
I'm here to enforce what they want.